And they all came up with what is known as the Vienna Declaration. And the Vienna Declaration basically outlined what was to then become a space generation advisory council for young people in space policy. And so, to elaborate a little bit more on that, young people from around the world come together in a global network, and they are not only connected to each other, but they're also connected to professionals in the network. So let's say, like, I'm a student at GW, and I have no power, I'm not important in any way. Well, I guess in some ways I am, but in the professional world, I'm not. The SGAC gives me a way to connect with the professional world in ways that I couldn't have done, like, on the street, basically. The SGAC has permanent observer status in UN Cookwood. Cookwood is the place for the peaceful use of outer space. And observer status, basically, it just means that we can't vote, but we can sit in on UN discussions, and we can contribute to what the UN is doing, which is awesome. Like, we can directly influence different stuff. In Austria, it's in Europe, over 90 countries participate in SGAC. It has over 4,000 members, so it's a pretty big organization. So for this large organization, there's a complex structure involved. There's a lot of people on. So there's a kind of a complex breakdown of SGAC. So that also gives a lot of opportunities for young people to be part of this executive office. Or you can be the national point of contact is actually Stephanie, who is the GW, she's not here today. So what comes out of SGAC? What do they do? Here's just some examples. These are kind of like the main things. They do tons of, like, believe me, I just started as a photographer here, but I get so many emails from people all around the world, SGAC members wanting to do projects that are interested in. So SGAC does a lot. So these are the main ones. The Space Generation Congress, the big conference, which is actually happening next month. The three main projects are the global navigation satellites system, the Near Earth project, and the space sector disaster management. And then they have a lot of papers and things that they do, policy suggestion type things like this. The conference is really cool. So I'm going to elaborate on one of the conferences. I'm going to elaborate more on the SGC. And the SGC is held in conjunction with the International Gun Alpha Conference. So that's a really big conference in Europe this year. So it makes me even more like cool, I guess. It's like with the IEC, it's like and they pick people from the SGC to go to this 100 people, around 150. And we get to interact with the other delegates who were invited, and they break down the same things that IEC does, which agency, industry, climate, exploration, and outreach. So you get to be part of the working group, and you get to submit your ideas when they take products, when you take products to me, like when you have a project in mind, you have research you want to do, or what you want to do, and the SGC will work with you to develop your idea. Hopefully you get best of this, and then here's the flyers, okay? Give us a link, explorerfly.com. The registration is closed, but next year it'll be in Cape Town. So there'll be a lot of fun. So right now we'll talk the next one. So now I'll go more into detail about one of the projects, NEO, or Near Earth Object Working Group. And this project is involved and then they need a film, and they have to really, really good film. And the SGAC, they have to be working on stuff, so about space law, they do a lot of these educational films that universities use. So, besides all the things that SGAC produces, like conferences and food, they have this really strong boost policy. The working groups in SGAC mirror UN working groups. So it's easier for us to kind of take our research and our results and better passing back and forth between US people. So here are just a list. Current perspective partners. We like to work together as much as possible with other organizations, nonprofits. It just helps us to develop research better, get information built up that much more, so we have more credibility as a group of young people. So, So, and these are just benefits, like, you think, oh, so, what's a group of young people? Oh, they're not important. But they are, actually. The SGAC actually does, I mean, you think about it, it's just a group of younger people aged, like 18 to 35 or something. But young people, I mean, even under 18, like kids, we do stuff, and we can create stuff, and our research is just as good as, just the best veteran. Probably not, but almost there. So we can make reports. It is a global community. So every single country, well, not every single, 90 now, but they want to include every country eventually. You can reach them, the global community. And of course, the UN and COPUS. And then, of course, there are very obvious benefits to the members. If you're in SGAC, you have this very, very this network at your fingertips, which is very interested in what you have to say. And if you have a good idea and you're really passionate about it, they'll make sure it gets pushed through. So, in case you're wondering how to be part of the space generation, you don't have to if you don't want to do a project or be involved in volunteering, you can just be part of the talk list, because SGAC has stuff like events and volunteer type things that are going on, and you can just kind of like sign up and go watch or whatever. Or you can contact your national point of contact, which would be Stephanie, who's in Korea. But her information's on the GWIZ thing somewhere. Or me, you can contact me. I'm not a national point of contact, but I can help you. And we have a really nice website. The website is there's lots of like flash graphics and lots of links you can click on and read things. But this is the Space Generation website, and you can go there for questions, or you can ask me questions. And that's it. That's the end of my show. People who are born into this, like, you have to be born into the space generation. There's like a certain cutoff. October 4th, 1957. I don't know. Actively participate, you have to be like under 32 or something like that. Generally. I think 35. But they wanted to just have a group which was just for young people, because it's so hard if you're young, like for people to take you seriously. So they wanted to say, okay, come on, we'll make this group for this just for young people, and we will take you seriously. So it is 57. So well, they say 35. So.
Are you going to SGC?
Yeah. September 21st. Yeah, I was really surprised that they were going to send me there, and they can send all of us there. It's just like you have to have like an idea, and they'll send you there. It's really cool. Then,
Actually, I am officially probably a member of the SEDS,
yeah.
student-oriented group that's hosted the But for example, we don't have observers at certain events, so we really can't participate in global space policy.
Oh yeah. So this year at the Space Generation, the Congress, the chair of UN COBIUS is going to be there. The chair of IAF is going to be there, and the president of NASA is going to be there. So we can like say, hey, chair of COBIUS, how's it going? You know. Oh. A civilian astronaut corps? I mean, I haven't heard of this project. Yeah.
But with regard to the civilian science community or civilian engineering community, there may be qualified individuals who have to
Yeah.
contribute currently.
Discussion leading to a topic to be raised and then ultimately negotiated.
Yeah.
With a policy, development of a policy globally acceptable.
Would it be a youth-oriented satellite astronaut corps?
Yes.
In other words, so maybe the
Yeah.
average median age or whatever of this corps might be under 20.
We're facing pretty much an aging of astronaut corps because of lack of space flight opportunities. Right. We're not really seeing much of opportunity for the younger generation to really move into those slots because they're already a backlog of old set. But if there was a younger generation of astronauts coming from a diaspora of different industries, then there would be a clamor for resources to be allocated to that program. So it's like an apprentice astronaut program, but we could really just simply refer to it as a civilian astronaut program.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think.
I mean, that could be floated. That could be.
Yeah.
I'm just requesting that.
It'd be great. I think. I mean, I could bring it up. I'm sure someone in the SGAC. There's so many people in it. Someone must have that idea, or they must know of it, and we could probably like stimulate, like, hey, a civilian astronaut corps, and then they could be like, oh, I should start this project, and then they could start it, and it would go global, and it would be really cool.
This is a suggestion because I wish I was able to participate in that program, coming from a totally non-military,
Yeah.
non-industrial basis.
I have an idea for that.
Sir, there you go. Okay.
So maybe the idea with the UN could facilitate liaison coordination with the various space agencies of the world, and space generation members would actually shadow actual astronauts in various countries, so in a non-interfering way, and get that kind of training.
Currently, I had a chance just recently to work as a volunteer for Space Day at the National Aerospace Museum. I ideas of space changed. They were talking to somebody up there. Hi, I'm calling from, flying over in Australia. I can see you down there. Their vision has changed dramatically. Mature that vision into reality.
Do you have a question?
You have to give them a nice program. Give them the opportunity to work in space.
You might want to coordinate with National Academy of Sciences. All scientific endeavors are lacking young people. It's not just space. I used to be a health physicist, radiation protection. Very few people come to chemical society. Very few people going into chemistry. It's just the nature of the beast that people aren't going into the sciences.
Yeah, you should talk to her. She's a medical space person.
She's going to be the first volunteer guinea pig, okay? But I hope you will please consider just formulating it.
Okay.
So what else
I
does
guess.
SGAC or SGC need? I mean,
Target
is there
command.
something you're looking for? When you came to do the presentation, is it just here's what we do, or is
Oh yeah, it was more. It's like introduction. Like, hey, here's what it is. If you don't know what it is, we can be a part of it. If you have an idea, what was it?
Speak close to the microphone.
There you go. I ran Space Generation Congress in 2006, so I'm interested in what the next generation. It's been years since I did that. So what is the next generation looking for? And it's structured completely differently now.
Oh really?
It continues to evolve. Yeah.
What did it used to be structured like?
Almost more like this. Not really. You guys are matching up with IAC a lot more than what we used to, as far as the division of breakout sessions and that kind of stuff. So that's awesome to see in the way that you've been able to integrate a lot more stuff. But it's always been a great place for young people to come and get to hang out with the top brass from around the world, and have Bob Richards would come in, or Peter DeMandis, and say, I got it in inspiration and I went and started a university. You don't have to find a university
Yeah.
to go to. Go start one.
They started it.
And I still know people from Space Gen that were, number one, that are now in positions inside of NASA, inside of ESA, around the world, and it's an amazing networking opportunity for you guys. But you have to take advantage of it. If you meet somebody and you meet Charlie Bolden and you have an idea for him, you really have to go up and say, hey, this is my idea for NASA. Will it work or not? How do we get this? Hey, we want to do this civilian astronaut corps, and we want it to be based with young people. Who do I talk to in your organization? Give me a name and an email address right now that I can go. Are they at the conference? Can you introduce me to them? Are you doing a plenary where I can go up and ask you a question about this and get it disseminated? You have to be that intentional with what you're doing to make it really have an impact. But people do that. I presented at IAC before I knew what IAC was. Here I am in Space Generation. I'm some young, fresh out from college, and I'm writing a paper and presenting it to what I find out is the World's Forum for International Space Policy and stuff,
Yep.
And that's an experience that most people don't get for decades and decades. So Space Gen absolutely works. And I guess my biggest question is, okay, so what do you want to do? We get that it works, but what do you want to do? What do you need from the rest of the industry now to make sure that happens?
What do I want to do with,
What do you want to do?
personally, or for the SGAC?
Both.
It's kind of like a big question that over encompasses a lot of things.
Yes, it is. And if you don't have an answer, you can put it back out to somebody. It's going to pass you by when the opportunity comes to tell Charlie or...
Facilitate here. Facilitate here. You mentioned that you're interested in the evolution of the Russian space program.
I like putting me on the spotlight, personally, talk about my personal life. Okay, so basically, my master's thesis is on the future of the Russian space program. I lived there for a while. I did astro research there. I'm specifically interested in the future of their nuclear rockets And are those really going to be built? And is it really going to happen? They have a lot of infrastructure problems. They have budgetary problems. They have a lot of corruption with money changing hands. However, the technology is there. It's been there since the 60s. They have a nuclear engine sitting in the hangar, basically. And I'm interested in working with the DOD, the DOE, whoever is working together with the international community to make sure that this is done safely, this is done right. They're not just blowing up nuclear rockets, accidentally. So we can do it together as an international community. The reason I joined SGAC is because I'm interested in being part of an international space community. Like, of course, it used to be just, Russia and the US, the major space players. But now every single country wants to be a space player, and that's great. I think it really should be a human, thing, not just a country thing. So that's really a big SGAC. I mean, for me personally, I think we should work with Russia. We shouldn't be like, oh, the Russians, what are they doing? Let's whisper about it. I think we should be like, oh, hey, Russia, let's come over. Yeah, sure, it's a nuclear rocket, but it's a technology not to be feared, but something to, be tested safely, to be tested right. And as an international community, we should be that way with all technologies and with all ideas and all projects and missions. And it's like, that's SGAC's, part of SGAC's mission. Yeah, it is for young people, but it's also for an international community. So that's like the main, that's like a fuzzy answer.
So one day you'll be in charge of the U.S.'s nuclear rocket program. You'll be the senior principal investigator for U.S. nuclear rocket programs. And probably somebody else that was in SGAC or SEDS will be in charge of Russia's nuclear rocket program and India's nuclear rocket program and Japan's nuclear rocket program. And you guys will already know each other. I mean, that's kind of how SGAC works.
That's kind of like the dream, I guess.
No, that's actually how it works.
Okay.
That's actually what
Good.
happens is you will find other people that you know or that know you or that were working in the same field. Because you guys are the top of your field right now, and you're the people that are going out and actively seeking out others that are like you, that's unique in the world. And that's why you're going to SGAC, or SGC, that's why you're in SGAC. And you will find each other later on in life, and it's going to make a big difference when people are living on the moon and going out places.
One final thought. Nuclear power is a volatile issue. And so I think maybe one thing you want to consider in bringing this message back to the SGA, the organization at large, is the educational aspect of this, and that explaining to the public, the non-informed public, that the stigma that is associated with nuclear energy is not necessarily fair in all contexts.
Yep.
And there is a critical reason why in space operations nuclear power is really the only viable option for certain distances of the solar system. So I think that's a dimension that you want to keep in mind and advocate in a rational, analytically correct way to get any disinformation removed as you move forward with your thesis.
Yep.
Both for power systems and propulsion.
Deep space energy and deep space propulsion.
Or even low Earth orbit propulsion. Earth or low Earth orbit is an entirely feasible thing to use nuclear thermal energy.
Response physicist.
Oh, I thought like Michael's doing this. I mean, I'd love to talk about it for like 10 hours, but I don't want.
Put a session on the board that's nothing but nuclear rockets.
Yeah.
All right.
There's a